Hello everyone, I'm SpeedyGRT, and welcome back to the second part of the tour on the MLemSMP. Today, we're starting with my base. First of all, this is my original start to the base. It's kind of an indent in the side of this little overhang here. And as you can see, we have a few paintings, and back here we have area with lots of ducks. Then, if we go back here, we have the area with some of the wolves that I got at the beginning of the season. Little area with dog beds, water bowls, a few sticks for the dogs, and across from that, we have this little extra room, which is kind of just an end of the season place to keep all of my stuff that I had on the server. We go back through, you can see there's something down here, which the little bit I had at the end of my episode on the last part of the MLemSMP. It was just a little area to do a cool cinematic thing with an experiment with different colors. Now, if we go back up, we'll see that across from us, we have our little storage area and a bridge. Now, the storage area is just a little hole in the cliffside used to keep all my stuff. And up here, just a little bridge that we could use to hop right back down there. As you can also see, here's the spooky tree that I built earlier in the season for a Halloween special. I used a bunch of different blocks and woods, which were found in the end, and I think it looks super cool. I also try a little bit with texturing using stairs, pressure plates, buttons, and fence posts, and I think it turned out super good. Now, up here, we can see the MLemSMP sign, which I built for my final episode special, and over there, which is the small version of Lem's Castle. Down below, we have just a little area with axolotls and a bunch of nature that I thought would spruce up the area a little bit. And if we go inside this small building over here, it has important things like lore items and the dragon head from earlier in the season, as well as a little outlook on some of the rest of the server. Next up on the tour, we have Oxy's base, which consists of this small siren tower, their main area, and a small boat over there, I believe. Now, if we jump over here, you can see there's a lot of creative things like canvas and cauldron for potion making, and we can go down here, and they incorporated a lot of storage as well as an underwater area because Oxy was a siren this season. We can also go out here, and it leads back out to the main area. Now, we can jump over here, and here's a small boat. I'm not quite sure if Oxy created this or if this was just another build in the area, but it is near Oxy's base. And it's in quite a similar style to the one located by Lem's base. Now, if we go over here, we have Oxy's main hut, which the entrance is over here. Now, if we go inside, we can see it's quite simple. Little bird. I'm guessing it's named Flapjack, though I could be wrong. And an upstairs area. Next on the list, we'll be going up to that airship. As you can see, it's quite a bit upwards, and it might take some effort to get up there. So I'll be right back. As you can see, we're up on the airship now, which I'm not quite sure who actually built this. It might have been Lem, because it is in a similar building style to what they create. As you can see, it has the wings and it has the balloon part. And if you go inside, it's decorated quite simply, but also makes it look slightly industrial and gives a nice steampunk vibe. And here's the outside of the ship, with a very long ladder to get up and some cool propellers on the side. Now, if we come up here on top of this mountain, which is quite a ways away from spawn, you can see Lady Lazuli's mega base from earlier in the season. I'm pretty sure this was here in like the first month of the server, if I'm being honest. As you can see, Lady Lazuli was also a kitsune, so it's kind of in a traditional Japanese style with a little extra mixed in. So we start over here, and this was really made for kitsunes, so it's pretty hard to get across here. You can see we just have to walk across the chains to the next platform. Now, if we come over here, this is the first part of the shrine, which appears to have gotten blown up a little. But we can jump down, and it leads to an interconnected area underneath, which is an easy way to get from one place to the next. Now, we leap over here. This is the larger part of the shrine. A nice waterfall, and if we go up here, I believe we can get inside the shrine itself. Yes, so if we go up here, it's rather empty because Lady Lazuli never got to finish it, but it provides a nice view from the top of the base. There's several floors, most of them don't have much on them, but they do appear to get smaller as you go up. And if I go up here, we can see that we're now on the roof and how high up this actually is. So you see, this is the abandoned shrine. Farther out, we have the extortion. Yes, extortion. So there's small farms and a little bit of builds done on this small plains village. As you can see, there are normal village buildings, but there's also sugarcane farm, wheat farm, nether wart, and some animals with a nice cute barn over here with horses and donkeys, which is done in a nice style, completely using wood and a few lanterns. Next on the list, we have Grace's home, which is actually just a little ways away from the main area of the server. So if we go over here, this is the so-called egg from which Grace came. I believe it's actually meant to be a small pod, such as a spaceship, and that's why it has a window. And if we go over here, this is the rest of the area, which is just a small cave, but I felt like it should be mentioned. I believe that's all in this area. Let's go on to the next. This is the end portal base. As you can see, it's just in a regular stronghold. There's a small enchanting area over here, which is actually the library of the stronghold. A little bit of mining done as well. And if we go back over here, leads to another portal and the end portal, as well as a few other areas which lead back to the top of the stronghold, which I believe remains mostly untouched. Next on this tour, we have Frosty's Snowland, which is just a small house in the middle of a large area with snow. It's not filled with too much, but it does have this nice brick texturing with these different colored woods. And as you can see, there's also a glare, Mr. Grem. Now, the final place on this tour is Frosty's Manor, which I believe the Snowland and the manor belong to the same person. There's a nice little potato farm, and as you can see as we go over here, there's a small bridge which leads all the way down to the caves, it appears. So we'll head down there. Yeah, it leads all the way down to a very deep cave. And as we go back up, we can now see the manor from the outside. So it uses the same style as the other build. And if we go inside, there's a nice little dining area, some storage, and a cooking pot, as well as an upstairs, which we can go up, and there's a nice little enchanting area, place to look out the window and see the taiga trees and these nice snowy cliffs as well. And we can go up even farther, which just appears to be an area up there that isn't being used at the moment. So, thank you for watching part 2 of the tour. I will be doing a part 3 with the rest of the bases, as well as another part showing off Lem's castle, and maybe a separate one going over Gray's base, because Lem's castle and Gray's base are both huge. So, thank you for watching part 2 of the MLemSMP tour, and goodbye!